Okay, quick recap here. We replaced the rear left door window regulator, and that was stuck. It was not coming down. The motor was fine, and we replaced it with a Dorman brand, and here's the model number, and this is a 2001 E39 M5. So in case you're looking for a part number, this is the Dorman part number. It does work pretty well. I wouldn't say it's 100% fit, but it works. As you saw, had a little glitch. We were able to fix it. The hardest part other than that is just taking everything apart, getting the glass out, making sure you don't damage your trim if you can at all manage to not do that. I managed it a little bit. It went back okay. It's my old beater car, so it's okay, but still, I would have preferred not to damage it. Other than that, everything worked out well. Regulator works as good as I expect. I did buy it from O'Reilly's. I did get it for around $129 with tax and all. It was about $121. And I could have gotten the same one from Amazon for about $90, but no warranty. This gives me a lifetime warranty, so I decided to do that. From watching videos and doing some research, this is a pretty common problem. I could have gotten them as cheap as $30 from eBay, Amazon, whatever, but I just decided to go with something that's a little bit better quality. At least they'll stand behind their product, I hope. I've had good luck with Dorman products. Not great luck. It's not OEM, not OE, but heck of a lot cheaper. It would have probably cost me around $300-400 to get the OE part, so.
Okay. So it's one of these at the bottom. Just a bolt that holds the regulator to a bracket in the chassis. Oh, there's two.
Are you going to be able to get it back in there easily?
We'll find out.
Okay.
That's your problem, not mine, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the window was stuck, and this pulley is broken. And that's what was keeping the window from coming down, I guess. Oops.
No, looks like this goes here.
Yeah.
Something like
All right. Yeah. So we know what was the problem. Taking this trim out was a real problem. It's supposed to just slide up. There's no clips. I don't know if this is some kind of glue or something, but it was really, really difficult to get out, and we might have bent it a little bit. So we'll see. Let me take a look over here. So it's the regulator, and when it came out, so here's how it was. I'm hoping I can get it back in. It's going to be a little difficult. So, but if I get it here, you can see how much bend there is upward, and you can see that little crease I made. So if you can avoid that, I don't know how, when you do this, it would be a good idea.
Removing motor from regulator.
Okay, we think this is the problem. Something cable here, or this pulley. This is not really a pulley, it's the part of the regulator that bolts to the glass, and this is all broken. the glass was wedged in there. It was not moving. The motor, when we turned it on, it would just click. It wouldn't do anything. So we're hoping the motor's fine. It's just that it was wedged or something and it wouldn't move. So we're going to take the motor out, get ready for the next regulator that we got on order. It'll be here in a few hours. Just taking, this is a T20 Torx bolts. There's 4 of them. Looks like that's how the motor mounts to the regulator. They're not on there tight at all, just snug. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we're having a hard time getting the regulator and the motor separated. We ended up cutting the cable off the regulator. It's broken anyway. This part should easily just come out usually. We just did this on a Mini and it was very similar design. These just came out. There was nothing to hold it. I think what's happened is there's a lot of water that's got in here over the years, and maybe, I don't know, maybe water. It looks brown, so we're thinking maybe water and some rust of some sort. But anyway, it's seized. So the regulator pulley is seized onto the motor. So you can see where the cogs inside, it's all red and everything. We think it's rust. Trying to get it out was really a pain. I tried a bunch of stuff. I tried this. Don't bother doing that, because when you do this, when you putting pressure on the outsides, pinching it from the inside, it's not coming up. The only real thing to do is to, we put some PB Blaster on the center. That helped a lot. And then let it soak for a few minutes. And then just slowly kept prying all around, a little bit at a time. Not one spot, but all around, a little bit at a time with a flat screwdriver. And as you can see, we're slowly getting it up here. It took a while to get it moving. But once it started moving, it's better, so that'll help. But yeah, so just want to keep doing this until I get it out. It might take a little bit of work yet still, though. But it is making progress, so that's why I know it's working. Hopefully the motor's still good. I think it is. I think the motor just wasn't reacting because the regulator was just seized up. Okay, so here we go. We got it out. Okay, so I'll clean it up. But that's basically the design. Is the regulator is going to come. The new regulator will come with this, and then all I should have to do is line it up properly and on the new regulator, and then just kind of seat it down so the teeth match these teeth. Pretty sure the teeth on the motor are good. Just want to see. Yeah, it'll go back if I force it, but I don't want to do that. So that's it. Okay, we got the motor hooked back up to the car just to test the motor, make sure it works. So go ahead, hit it. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Motor's working, so that's good test. Okay, so the door card on the left rear of the car, where we're fixing the window regulator, had an issue where, this is common on these cars, the tray on the inside, the holder, like the glove box holder or tissue holder, whatever you want to call it, had come separated. The glue had come out. So I didn't get this under video doing it alone, so it was hard to do. But basically what I did was I used a scraper. I have one of those plastic scrapers. Here, that's what it looks like. And I used it with these plastic blades, and then I scraped away all the excess glue that was inside here. It took about 15-20 minutes to do it all. Got it all scraped away, cleaned it up, cleaned it a little bit with alcohol, cleaned the surface, the mating surfaces with alcohol. This was really nice and flat, so I didn't have to use glue. Typically in the E36s, you had to use glue and let it set and things like that. But these, they did a better design with this. The surfaces where the actual plastic piece, the cubby actually holds onto to the door card, is pretty flat. So I was able to use 3M two-sided tape. I love this stuff. This is like, I keep this around all the time. Anyway, I cut pieces here, 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 along the back. I had to thin it, had to cut it in half, basically, like split down the middle, because it was a thin area right here. So I did that. You can see the tape right there. So I did that along the edge, and then I put it on the inside of this part, and then I just flipped the whole thing over. And like I said, before I did that, I cleaned the mating surface. I cleaned this with alcohol, and I cleaned this with alcohol, dried it up really nice, and I tested the tape to see if it would stick to this material, and it did. It stuck pretty well. It stuck really well to this, so that was good. And then I proceeded. So basically what I did was I just put tape everywhere I could get a flat surface. Use a good bit of tape, probably about maybe 2 or 3 feet of it. So I used a good bit of tape, about 2 feet. And then on the bottom part right here, on the inside of this, where the plastic is, it actually fits this perfectly right here. It mates it. So what I did was I put a piece of tape here, one in the middle, and one at the edge, like about this wide. And then now and then what I did was I just used my fingers and to kind of hold it, to get a nice bond to it. And it seems to be holding very well. Let me set it here for now. So it looks pretty good, and it's holding well. So that's nice. And then a similar thing had happened up here as well. Get this out of the way here. So right at the edge over here, this had come apart. The outer piece was coming apart from here. So this was separating. So I did the same thing again. I cut a small piece here, a small piece here, and then a very small piece here just to kind of hold the edge here. It does a really good job. I didn't really have to do any cleaning of the glue or anything over here. It was separated pretty nicely. So the glue seems to be sticking already to this piece. So I just put the tape between the glue and the backer board here, dual card or whatever you want to call it. And so it seems to be holding. So I think I'm good. We're gonna go get the window regulator in a little bit here. The parts store said it'd be here in a couple of hours. So we'll put that back in. Hopefully the motor will work. It seems to work. So we'll go from there. Okay, so here's the bad window regulator. We believe most of the reasoning behind it going bad is because the pulley here that connects to the motor was seized onto the motor. And I believe the regulator itself was stuck anyway. The window wouldn't go down, so we think that was the reason. This is where everything is breaking apart. So anyway, new regulator's on at the shop. We're gonna go pick it up and we'll install it. Okay, so I have the motor transferred to the new regulator. It was fairly uneventful. It just took me a minute to line up the screws, but you have to do it. You have to put it in from this side, and to get it lined up properly, actually, and then put the screws in from this side. Okay, so the two bottom bolts are tight now, 10 millimeters, and then the electrical connector is in, and the top T20 bolt is in. So we should be able to test the motor now, right? Okay, we got the glass back in. 1 second, let me just go out here. So we slid it in from outside over here. The trick is to angle it and get it inside this seal and slowly get it down. And then since this rubber piece is out already, what I did was I let the glass down all the way, but before it went down all the way, I slid this rubber piece over the glass, into the glass, so that way it's in this channel, if you will. And then once we watched it go down into that hook right there. So once it went into that hook, and now he's about to put the screw in to hold it. So
T30 with metal washer.
Okay, so yeah, it's the T30 bolt with the one with the metal washer, and that's the one that came out of the car. So we reused the original bolt to hold the glass in place, and we reused the original bolt that went up here in the regulator to, and that was the T20.
Yep.
And this is a T30. Okay, so now the glass is hooked up. We did have a little difficulty with the regulator, and I'll kind of, so we had to play. I couldn't record it. This is a Dorman brand regulator, and the original ones are very expensive, so we tried this. And what it was doing is when the motor went up, it would catch right at the lip where the regulator lip starts over here. See, the motor and the rider over here goes down below the lip, and then every time you put the glass up, it has to go clear that lip. That metal was bent a little bit inward, so I just took some pliers and bent it out just a little bit to help this clear it, and that helped. It still makes a little rubbing noise, but it works great. We tried it many times. Go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, it's like locking into the brace. Same thing happened up here on the same area. And so what I was able to do there, we had to go up and down a few times for it to clear it again because it was locked up there. We couldn't get it back down again. So once we got it cleared, I was able to go in here, and it's difficult to show it now, but I used a screwdriver, we took this trim off and went through with a screwdriver and did the same thing. Just bent this lip that's up there just a little bit outward to help that carriage cart, whatever that is, that carries the window up and down, help it clear that lip. That's all it was. So I would go and return this regulator and get a new one, but it's working fine now. I bought the Dorman brand from O'Reilly's because it has a lifetime warranty. I could have got the same exact one from Amazon for about $30 cheaper. So now I'm kind of happy I went to O'Reilly's and got the lifetime warranty, because if something happens with this down the road, I don't want to have to deal with having to buy another one. At least I can save the money and get that done. I get the feeling I'll probably have to do this again at some point. These are notorious for going bad. All right, we're gonna give it a shot, see what happens. I used this 3M window weld to reseal the vapor barrier. You can see where I used it there. The old stuff was really dry, and it was just coming right up. This is okay here, but so we didn't go past the airbag, so I just resealed everything from here all the way around, and I only put where they had window weld. I didn't put it where they didn't. So if I have an issue, I'll go back and put it in. But I think for the most part, it's holding really nice and tight. So I just want to like give it a good press here and make sure it stays. These have been known to leak water, so hopefully this will hold it and keep water from coming out. I've had some water here, but never anything on the inside, which is good. So I think I'm okay. All right, I'm gonna put the trim on outside, the one I bent, and let's go from there. I did bend this getting it out. It was just really tough to get it out. You can see there's some kind of adhesive or something there. Could just be from years of heat and everything. Whatever was there was holding it so tight I couldn't get it to go up. It was clean here. I got it to about here, and then that's when it started getting hard, and then you can see where I bent it. Anyway, I'm gonna try to put it back, and actually I bent it back as much as possible, and I'm going to use this section as a guide, and then over here to see where it goes. It really goes in just one way, and there isn't much to do besides just push it back in. All right, so the door card is back in. It's a little challenging to get everything back in place. Particularly, this is a little tight because of the cable short. You have to make sure that the plastic clip that holds the cable in place doesn't come out. If it does, you got to do it again, because otherwise the handle won't retract right. It won't open the door. Other than that, like I mentioned, I fixed the broken part here. I just used 3M double-sided tape, so this cubby is nice and secure now, and everything else is back to where it was. I'm missing this piece because it was broken. I'll grab another one from a junkyard and put it in. Other than that, we didn't really break anything else. doing it else, putting it in. Puddle light down here is back in, everything, so everything's good to go. Here we go, and window goes down, window goes up. We put it down and up several times now, so we're pretty confident it's good. All done.